which is Charlie's you are very conservative. You don't like change. You don't like weird things. So like if someone were to say, let's go to Ireland for a season, which is what I was pitching, you were like, no, that's too weird.
Well, no, it's not. It's
and you're already saying no.
well, no, you're saying how I write, and I don't think that it's that I don't like change.
I can see you even getting upset right now.
I am getting upset because
the truth is you reject and back me, do or don't. You are afraid of change.
No,
straight up, 100%, and we're watching it happen live.
Well, can I say my point of view? I don't like writing stories that come from an outside motivation.
Yeah.
So I get
fair.
turned off by things like just Ireland being the best. So the pitch was we just are in Ireland, and every episode for all 8 starts with guys, I got news, and we do the same dynamic, but we just have a new bar in Ireland. And I was like, I don't mind going to Ireland, but I don't like what to me felt like a gimmick. So I'm resistant to things that feel, and it was what I was bumping on today, which is like, it could be brilliant, and probably it will be brilliant, because you always you're an idea man, and you come in with ideas. And this is why we work very well together. You come in with big swinging ideas, and I like things that come from character or the story within the character. But the truth is, what makes something great is the combination of both things. It's innovation plus character. If it was just character, it would only be episodes that took place in the bar. We've never done the ski episode. We've not done big things. So it's not change. It's change that feels inorganic to what I like about the show. So, it's not so much that it's different. It's that I don't feel like, sometimes I feel like the pitches are just in the interest of being different. And I'm like, okay, if we're going to do it though, like what is real to these characters? Because I still want to be like, these are real characters in this city, in this world, so that that's what appeals to me within the storytelling. So I always want to marry it to that. And when it feels like it's not that, that's when I bump on
I think
it.
that's why Sunny ends up being so good so often, is that you all are not only, because you're all acting in the show, you're all representing what you want to do when you're in there. Like you all have such a foot in the game that you're like, I don't want to be on set and not understand what is funny about this.
There's a massive difference between our show and a lot of other shows.
Totally.
And it's not because it's purely by virtue of the fact that we're the ones who have to actually act it.
I want to
We're
know
the ones
what's
that
funny
actually have
about
to
this.
perform it.
Yeah.
Well, we all want to make the greatest show we can make. And we all have different
And we also
approaches to how we do that.
disagree so often.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things I hear that I love the most is that it seems like we're having so much fun, and we are, because we love each other and we have a blast. But the truth is, like, we disagree all day long.
Yeah.
And even right now, I want to fight with you. I truly do, because I think you're dead wrong. I think you truly resist change. And we talk about this quite a bit. Like, and I can actually point to so many times over 20 years where you have resisted that change. And yet like when we sit down and have like a creative discussion about any given episode, we have so much history that like leads up to that moment. And I don't know, like I want to fight about it right now.
Yeah.
Well, it's fine, but like
what's so
I do
fun.
resist change, but like what I'm saying to you, I hope you're hearing it, is that I resist change that feels like, if you said, I got this great idea for this character who moved in down the street.
No.
It's a whole new character.
Let's go back to the show being 4:3 versus 16:9.
I think it looks better before.
Okay. So what you wanted to do, just so the audience knows, someone came to us and said, hey,
I remember
the
this.
world is changing.
I remember this.
Your television show is in 4:3.
I remember we
aspect
went
ratio,
into a
which is-
room. We went into a room.
And Charlie was saying, no, the show must be this aspect ratio. And we
Yeah.
were going,
I think it would be rad if the show was still in 4:3.
I think.
But
and standard definition.
I'm yeah.
Also, which is what you
Yes,
brought for.
yeah.
You were saying the show
I
should
like
look
the grittier look to the
so a 4:3 aspect ratio with a standard definition.
4:3, obviously, yes, the technology all changed, everyone's TV's changed, so you have to change.
Well, of course, but you resisted that for a very long time.
That's true.
People support you, Charlie, in the chat.
Yeah, they like 4-3.
Yeah, well-
guys, let's go back. Season
No,
16.
I get
4-3,
it.
not
I get it.
HG.
I tend to always sit on the kind of the outside of these conversations often, and like sort of play the middleman. But I mean, because I understand that point of view, and I understand also like the instinct to not want to change things at times because you don't want to. I don't know. You want to make sure. You want to make sure that a big idea is not. You want to make sure that something's not.
But that
gimmicky.
assumes that I don't care about character, meaning that like, well,
Yes.
I'm an idea man who
That's
doesn't
true.
care. Like for example, today you said, well, I want to make sure that it's like that you like you're entertaining the audience, and I was like, what do you mean by that? Like I want to. Yeah, I had
You don't
I had an
appreciate
idea.
the assumption. You don't appreciate
Exactly.
the assumption that what you're pitching.
I know,
like-
but I think that's a taste thing, right? So oftentimes you're pitching something, and my particular taste says that feels so outside the realm of what we've established that the show is, or the style of storytelling we're doing, that I feel like it's beyond my taste for what I like about the show, what I think is great about the show. And it is my duty to you as your partner
Totally.
in writing to not just sit by and be like, yeah, go ahead and do that idea. I think it's going to be great. And my duty to the audience. So like if something's pitched to me and I can't see what it really has to do with the characters and the story of the world, I bump on it.
Yes.
But what ends up happening is that you guys figure out a way to merge all
Yes.
of the things that you want so that Rob gets his stuff, which is very exciting and like eye-grabbing in the sense of like Mac gets fat or Mac does this amazing dance and like things that are very
Well, that's
outside of
another
the
good
show,
example.
like,
You pitched that we
Yeah,
all
which you guys
get fat.
hated.
You
Yeah.
pitched that every single character gets fat. And that was a little bit like a life thing too. Just being like, oh man, I'm not going to come back if I do that. I'm going to stay that fat for the rest of my life. But also I wasn't opposed to you doing it. You're like, what if just I do it? So I was like, that makes more
but
sense to me. That
you-
one
no,
character
but no,
does it
but-
and feels
hold
like
on, wait,
you weren't
there-
totally opposed to it, but there was a part of you that was like, and understandably, you wanted to make sure that if we were going to do that, that it wasn't just a gimmick.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
it was.
But
that
I feel like
Yeah,
I'm
that it
still
was
having
a
the
gimmick.
same.
Lasted the
But I feel like I'm
test.
still having the same fight sometimes, which is like, well, yeah, dude, I'm not going to do it as a gimmick.
Yeah.
I feel like we
You're,
can.
sometimes you're coming at something. You've got like a big idea that you want to execute, and you would like for the assumption to be that we'll find the reasons behind
Yeah.
it all.
I'd like the benefit of the doubt that
Yeah.
I'm not doing something as a gimmick, but I feel like we
Yeah.
can find. Okay.
Yeah.
But the reason it works is this very thing.
Yeah.
Which is that we will fight and fight and fight.
Yeah.
But not really. Like.
No,
not
it's a
actually
creative
fighting.
fight. It's not a
creative
personal fight.
But it's still happening to this day. It's happening in this moment right now.
Yeah.
That I
guys
still
don't really
want the
fight.
fucking benefit of the doubt that if I come in with a big idea like I did today, that the assumption isn't that I'm just trying to do something just to do it. I'm doing it like, but if I don't get that check on a regular basis, and if you don't get the check in the same way, we're not holding, the show isn't being held to the standard that we've been holding it to for 17 years, and it will suck.
We don't have these fights on set. It's all in it's all in the writer's process.
Yeah.
And we have it every season. We have some sort of thing that feels like a little
Yeah.
tense.